Hi guys, welcome to today's video. This video, my sister is going to pick out the books I read for a week. Please. People are going to click off straight away. If you're acting like an idiot.
It's Taylor Swift.
She's going to pick like 3 to 4 books. You have to try and pick books you think I'll really like based on what you know about books I've... Don't start picking yet. On what books I've liked before, what books I'm excited to read. She follows my booktube, my bookstagram, my booktok. So let's see how much you pay attention to what I post and when I talk about books. So she can't choose classics, can't read those in a week, and I feel like that's not really fair. I mean, you can really pick anything else. We have classics, that's a no. We have literary fiction, which is basically like just fiction, like the fiction. Romance. These, let's move these. These are my like classics of poetry. Okay. This is fantasy. I've read most of these. Okay. I'd say you can't really choose graphic novels and manga because that's like, doesn't really count. What genre do you think you're gonna pick?
Romance.
All romance?
Some romance.
Okay. You pick them up and ask me what they're about.
That one.
This one?
Sebastian Ziggy.
I think they do fake dating. They're friends with benefits. Oh, he's her brother's best friend.
Why are they built like that?
I don't know. The covers are really ugly.
Okay, that one.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So just picked If Only You by Chloe Leese. Oh.
Okay, not this one.
It's like set in the Victorian age and it's supposed to be funny, I think. Does it smell good? Does it smell good?
Yeah.
Be quiet!
That one.
Okay, The Mysterious Society of Lady Scoundrels, which is a romance.
So they're romance.
Yeah, that's literary fiction. That's fantasy.
Fantasy.
I thought you were going to definitely choose a certain book.
That one. That one.
I've already read that book.
You read that one?
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about? I feel like
Nothing.
you've had that book for like 500
That's a classic.
years.
Just go.
You know what I do you? I'm crazy for you. And it's not even the song that's playing.
Why are you listening to music while you're doing my video? That's so rude.
It's Taylor.
I should really tell you, this is my sister. Her name's Taylor, and she's 16.
Actually, right there.
She is.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Okay, hurry up.
Well, I don't know which one to pick.
Well, have a look at them, pick them up, and read
You're
them.
being weird.
Which book have I talked about?
You haven't talked about any.
I haven't talked about most of these books.
It's not a romance.
You can if you want.
Let me check this book out.
There's
Ooh,
something in that book
that's
you would
interesting.
like.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Why is she wearing socks in the snow? Ew, that's so gross. Ew. He's like fantasizing or something. He's looking up into the distance.
He's smouldering. I don't know why it says Tom Hanks.
Because everybody loves Tom Hanks.
Who loves Tom Hanks? Someone's talking about Tom Hanks.
Maybe Tom Hanks is a dog.
Maybe. And they quote that movie in it. What's that movie? 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh my golly oh gosh.
It's young adult. I've never read any young adult romance before.
It doesn't smell like anything.
The girl, I don't know, she's like in love with someone else and then he helps her.
They're all blue.
No, they're not. Are you gonna pick a 4th one?
Should I? Do I?
If you want to. If you want to pick something that's not romance.
Chloe, would you pick fantasy or fiction?
I don't know. It depends which fantasy or fiction. Read them.
Any, mini, money, mo.
What if I pick a few from each and then you pick one?
No, it's not fair.
Oh, you're not. I read that. I can't believe you haven't picked it.
Taylor, what one? A Good Girl's Guide to a Murder.
No.
Everyone in this room will someday be dead. That one?
If you want to pick it.
What one do you think I'm gonna pick? That one? I
Yes.
said that. And you didn't say anything.
Oh, yeah, I didn't say a thing. Are you gonna pick it now?
Well, I kind of want to read it. I probably won't ever read it though.
I know you won't read it. You're a slack of a reader.
I've been reading.
In school, you're required reading.
Oh, I don't read it. Miss reads it to us. I've been reading. What's it called? Yeah.
What, Girl Interrupted?
No.
Perks of Being a Wallflower?
Yeah, that one. I've been reading that when I was sick. I read it every single day, but I deleted Goodreads
Why?
because it was annoying me. I had. Okay, sorry.
I'll bleep it out.
On the Italian Riviera, powerful romance. This is a romance though.
What?
It's a romance.
But it's majority fiction.
Yeah, but it's a romance.
It has romance in it. That's a subplot.
Yeah, well, it's romance. I
You're
guess we're gonna read 4 romance then in a week.
Okay, that's my usual schedule.
That's a bit weird.
Is that what you picked?
Look, they're all blue.
They can't be all blue.
Blue,
Blue is my least favorite color.
blue, 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 blue.
Okay.
Yellow and blue. Purple and blue.
I needed to show them the books.
I'll show it. Okay. Call Me By Your Name by Andre Asiman.
It's the movie with
Asman.
Timothy Chalamet in it.
Timothy Chalamet.
But the book came first.
Did it? Oh my gosh, we should
Sure
totally
it
play Timothy
did.
Chalamet right now. Hold on.
Play Timothy Chalamet.
Yep.
I'm gonna get copyrighted.
No.
He's not a singer.
No, we're gonna play Timothy
I'm
Chalamet.
gonna play the horse song. Oh, it's a song. Taylor, I'm gonna get copyrighted.
When you talk to me like Timothy Chalamet, like you owe Timothy Chalamet,
This is supposed to be the intro, Taylor. You're taking 5 years. That's enough.
It's only 12 minutes. Calm down.
You know how much I'd have to edit?
And then we got Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter.
YA romance, rom-com movie vibes.
And he's smoldering into existence. The Wisteria Society of Lady Something.
Scoundrels.
That word.
Who's it by?
By India Holton. Falling in love can be murder.
This is a part of the Dangerous Scoundrels series, I think that's what it's called. It's set in Victorian age. I think the guy's an assassin and she's his next hit.
And then we have If Only You by Chloe Lees.
This is the 6th book in the
A
series.
Bergman sister novel.
I haven't read any of the other books, but I do want to read this one. She's his brother's? No. She's his brother. She's his best friend's sister, I think. And then I think they do fake dating. And then there's like friends with benefits. And then she's a soccer
Fake
player and he's
friends,
a hockey
real
player.
benefits.
I think they get together for his image. So like his image is better.
And he kind of looks like Jess from Gilmore Girls at the end.
All the men look really
When
gross
she's
in the
in
covers.
Yale.
Okay, this is her chooses the books. I'm gonna be reading them. I don't actually know when I'm gonna get to these. Stop eating all my pretzels. No, bad press. I'll see you guys when I start one of these books. Hi guys. So my sister chose all the books I'm going to read. I will clarify, it has been a few weeks since my sister chose those books and I have read a few books since then, like other unrelated books. But now I'm going to start reading all the books she chose together. Like I'm not going to read any other books, I'm just going to read these books in this vlog together. I thought I should clarify that. I think I'm going to start with Better Than the Movies because I just read Fourth Wing and I loved it. It was really good. but that's like a fantasy, and I can't stop thinking about Fourth Wing, and so I was trying to figure out what's the best book to read that's not gonna like put me in a slump. And I feel like Better Than the Movies is a good choice because it's kind of like a palate cleanser. Like it's a fast, fun YA romance book, so I'm hoping that's the case since it's so different. Hopefully I can get through it quickly, because my main concern is me not being able to pick up another book after reading Fourth Wing. So I'm like, how do I quickly ease into reading more romance and stuff? And I feel like this is the best book to go with first. I'm acting like this is like some really important life or death decision, but I'm just picking what book I'm gonna read, but you guys understand. I know a bit about this book. I think it follows Liz and Wes, and Liz is like a hopeless romantic, and she works at this movie theater with Wes, and she has a crush on another guy, and Wes like helps her get with him, like get a date with him, something like that. And then Liz and Wes fall in love, obviously. I think, are they enemies? It says he's a pain in the butt, so but they've been friends since they were children, so it's like childhood friends to lovers. I'm guessing she just doesn't see Wes in that way, love way. She sees him platonically, and then she realizes, or she falls for him or something like that. I've seen a lot of positive reviews for this book. I have been very hesitant when reading this book because it's YA. I'm not the biggest fan of YA because I guess I'm older, and so I want to lean more towards adult books. And sometimes the writing screams YA, where it's just like, it's not great. But people do really like this book, so hopefully I do like it. And also, another thing that's a bit iffy to me is the fact that Liz likes someone else before she ends up with Wes. I know that's like the point. I never really like that trope or plots in books or movies. It just, I don't know, I'm just not a fan of it. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, I just never like that when they're like the person likes them. It doesn't matter. Okay. I think you guys get what I'm saying. Okay, we're gonna start with this book and we'll see how I go. I'll update you guys soon. Hi guys, I haven't updated you and I am almost finished the book, so I feel like I should say something before I finish it. But okay, I'm not gonna like say everything because it is like midnight and I do not look presentable at all. I will say I am really liking this book, but the third act breakup was so bad. It just made me so mad. And there's so many characters in this book that just make me so mad. And I know they have a point, but I'm still on Liz's side. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. But I'm almost finished. I have like 50 pages left and I can't not finish it now. But I started I was on like page 20 today, and I started getting into it this morning, and I've been reading it all day and I'm almost finished. But yeah, I really like it, but the third act breakup made me so mad. So mad. It was so stupid. Okay, that's all. Hi guys. So, I finished Better Than the Movies. I was supposed to update you as I was reading it, but I literally read all of it yesterday, which I didn't expect to happen. And yesterday was kind of a lazy day. I was very much not presentable or in the mood to like talk. So let's hear my thoughts. I kind of had like low expectations going into it because I've never read YA romance and I don't really like lean towards it. Like it's not really what I want to read because it is like set in high school and stuff, and I'm over that now. And the writing style is younger. At first the writing style really bothered me. It didn't bother me, like it was just I didn't enjoy it, like I didn't like it, but I started to like it, and the writing style honestly was fine. I didn't have any problems with it after like getting into it and getting used to the story and everything. I did really like the romance. I think I said that they were at a movie theater together, which was a lie. That doesn't happen. I don't know where I heard that. Sorry, that was a lie. I just made that up apparently. Liz, who is the main character, she is in love with rom-coms and she's a big hopeless romantic, and she's always looking for like the right guy and to have all her romantic like rom-com moments. She's obsessed with all those movies, and her mum was kind of the person that got her into all of that, and her mum passed away when she was young, so she's holding on very tightly to this obsession she has with rom-coms and stuff and wanting to live out that dream because she feels like that way she has a connection with her mum. Wes is her neighbor. They were like childhood friends, and they'd always constantly argue with each other, mess with each other, and then obviously they end up together, so it's a bit of enemies to lovers. And I did really like this story. It was very sweet. The only thing I didn't like was the third act breakup. I never really like third act breakups, but sometimes they can be done well, where I think like it adds to the story. Other times I'm like, it just really annoys me. The way it was done, I really didn't like. There was just all this drama and yelling and people not talking to her, and it kind of made me not like Wes as much because of some other things he was doing, but yeah, that kind of ruined it. But I rated this book 4 stars. I did go on to read the bonus chapters online, and I really liked those. I wish there was more of that in the actual book of them together. When I was reading it, when I started it, I went on Goodreads to see what like my friends and people I follow thought, to kind of give me motivation to read it, and literally every single person either rated it 4 or 5 stars, like majority 5 stars, and so many people that I follow. I was like kind of shocked, because usually with like a hyped up book there'll be like a lot of 4s and 5s, but there'll also be like a bunch of 3s and a 2s and people who don't like it, but they're all really high ratings, and I was really surprised because I didn't know people loved this book that much. Yeah, the ending is what threw me off, and it wasn't like amazing, like I wasn't in love with the story. Anyways, those are my thoughts. I actually think my sister would probably enjoy this book though, because she wanted, well, she didn't want to, but I told her she should read a romance, and she didn't know, like, I didn't know what book to recommend her, but I think she would like this. Okay, so I decided I'm gonna read another romance. I'm kind of putting off, well, I guess these are all romance, but yes. Whoa, careful. Do you not get your phone at recess or lunch?
No,
What are you supposed to do?
I don't know.
Sorry about that. What was I saying? Oh, okay. I want to read one of these next, but I wasn't sure which one. So I asked my sister, and she's at school. And I remembered that her school started doing this thing where they take their phones away in the morning and they don't get them back until after school. So she can't answer me. So I am going to go with the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. Also, one other thing I noticed, every single female main character in these books has red hair. I don't know how my sister chose all red hair girls, but she did. So I don't know. I thought that was funny, because I always have red hair. I mean, it's not real, but I'm kind of like scared to read literary fiction. I'm not scared, but it always takes me a lot longer to get through, so I'm like putting it off. But we're gonna read the Wisteria Society. I feel like this is gonna be a fun read. I said that about Better Than the Movies, that they're both fun reads, but I think this will be fun in a different way, because it's like historian. And I mentioned before, the guy in the book is like an assassin, and he is paid to get rid of her. But then I think there's a bit of romantic feelings. What am I saying? So I think it'll be interesting. Apparently it's funny. I'm gonna go to the library, but I'm gonna go to a new one I haven't been to. And it also has a Starbucks nearby, which there's no like Starbucks like close to me, but there is one there. So I'm gonna get Starbucks. I asked my sister, like, do I get matcha or coffee? But she can't answer. So she probably wouldn't answer anyways, but anywho, that's all. I'm gonna get to reading the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. Are they gonna be British? Apparently these women pickpocket and blackmail, so they're a bit scandalous. So we shall see how I like it. guys, I am back home. I have started The Mysterious Society. I'm only at the start, but I have a better idea about the characters and what's going on. So Cecilia, who's the main female main character, is a part of the Lady Scoundrels, and I think they get up to like mischief, whatever that means, like stealing and stuff like that. And then Ned is, like I mentioned before, an assassin, but he's a pirate, and he's been like assigned to take out Cecilia, and they just met in like the first couple of pages, and I'm excited. I like the pirate vibes going on. It's reminding me of Well Met, which is a romance book that's like modern, but a lot of it takes place in a Renaissance fair, and this is like set in the actual like Renaissance era. I don't know if those are the right words, but like it's set in the Victorian age, and he's an actual pirate and she's a lady scoundrel, and she lives with her auntie, and they're like all posh and stuff. I don't know if they're pretending to be posh, but like they're very like posh, but then they're actually up to like stealing and stuff, so that's interesting. And it seems very witty and funny and like a lot of banter. I'm interested to see where this goes. I don't know if it's going to be enemies to lovers. I don't know if there would be rivals, but like as soon as he saw her, he said like she is, what was his words? Beauty so rare and face so fair. So, and we only got like a one paragraph of his point of view, and then it went back to Cecilia. So I don't know how the point of view is going to work yet. And it's also in third person, which is interesting. I prefer first person, but if it's third person, I don't really mind that much. At first, it takes me a while to get used to it when I'm getting into it, but when I do, like, I don't really notice anymore. Because when I first start reading a book and it's in third person, I'm kind of like picturing like a narrator saying the stuff, but then as I get more into the book, I'm like more into the characters and feel like I'm actually in their head and not like I'm like a third person narrator reading the book, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm interested. I had been meaning to read this book for a long time. I think you guys saw in my reaction when my sister picked this. I was very happy. I think that kind of influenced her because I was just smiling, but I've heard good things and I'm excited because it's like an interesting concept. I think it will be a lot of fun. I got high hopes and hopefully it's good. It's also quite short and has a very pretty cover. So yeah. Tripods are the most annoying thing in the world. Don't want to see my water bottle. Hi guys, Willow's here with me. Say hi, Willow. She'll wave to tail. Okay. I'm so tired. Okay, I am on page 170, so I'm like just over halfway. I am enjoying it. At first I was a bit, oh sorry, the wind is making my papers fly. Anyways, at first I was a bit confused. Oh my god, everything is, at first I was a bit confused because it wasn't very heavy on the romance. There was like a lot of like fantasy going on. It's not heavy on the fantasy, it's like cozy fantasy. I didn't know there was gonna be any, I guess, yeah, I didn't really know there was gonna be any fantasy. I thought it was just gonna be like pirates. That's not fantasy, right? Like maybe that is fantasy, but like pirates and like a group of ladies who like to like steal and stuff, but like there's like flying houses and magic and stuff. So I didn't know that was in this book, but it's not very heavy on the fantasy. Like it's like so easy, like you don't really need to understand anything. It's like cozy fantasy. But yeah, there wasn't like much focus on the romance at first, and I was confused. I was like, wait, is this just historical fiction and fantasy with like a subplot of romance? But now the romance is more heavy. Now that I'm like further in, there's like a lot of romance now. There's a lot of stuff going on. I don't want to say too much because then I'll like kind of spoil it, but there's like a lot going on, and the plot is a bit like this happening, then this happening, this happening, and then the POVs change a lot. It'll go from like Cecilia and Ned, and then there'll also be like the point of view of like all these other side characters, which I don't know if I like that because I don't care about their point of view. Like, it gives us insight. It's not a lot, there's only like a few of them every now and then, but yeah. The story is interesting. The language is like English in like 1800s, is that when it is? But it's not hard to understand at all. Like, it's really easy. Like, it's not the most accurate, I guess. Like, it's easy to understand, and it's very funny. I think we get point of views of the other characters to add to like the humor and stuff. But Ned, he keeps like quoting poetry and saying the most like beautiful things about Cecilia. I'm like, oh my god. Let me find one. He said that she was like a lily, pale and delicate and sometimes poisonous. And then he quoted, "The lily white shall in love delight, nor a thorn nor a thread stain her beauty bright." I'm like, oh my god. He does this a lot. But at the moment, they like are attracted to one another. I think like Ned has like kind of fallen for her. Whereas Cecilia finds him attractive, but she hasn't really like fallen for him yet. She's only talked about like his physical appearance. I think I could probably finish this book today. I guess it was a little different from what I expected. Also, Cecilia is 19, which is fun because I'm 19. And I like hardly ever read romance with the female main characters my age. But I don't know how old Ned is. And apparently like he knew her mother, and her mother died when she was like young. So I'm like, how old is Ned? And he's like a captain. So I'm like, how old is this man? Maybe he knew her when he was like really young. Oh, sorry Willow, my bookmark just fell on her head. I don't know, but like it is like old times, so I guess it doesn't matter that much. I'm gonna like say he's like 23 or something. It is like funny, but not like I'm like laughing out loud funny. Like I'm just like, oh, that's funny. I don't know, it's funny. I don't know. It is so nice out today. I'm so excited for spring and summer. I hate winter so much. And I can wear, what is this called? A tank top? Whatever. Without being cold. That's all of my updates. Say bye, Willow. Say bye. She says bye. So, I have finished The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. I was so tired. I have finished this book, and my rating, should I tell you my rating first or my thoughts? I guess my thoughts first. I did enjoy this quite a lot. The romance was quite sweet. I really liked the language and the humor. It was a lot of fun. I liked the things Ned said about Cecilia. They were very sweet, and like the poetry and everything. It was very sweet. Overall though, it wasn't my favorite. It's not like a romance where I'm like, oh my god, I'm in love with this. Everyone needs to read this book. Like, I didn't feel that way. And so it's not, it wasn't like amazing. And so I rated it 4 stars, which I'm a bit disappointed because I thought this was going to be maybe a 5-star read. But the romance, it was really good, but it just I don't know, there wasn't enough. And the plot was very heavy in this book, which the whole plot was very fun. It was very funny. This is like my first cozy fantasy I've read, and I did enjoy it. It wasn't hard to understand the fantasy, but I just wish there was more of a focus on the romance. Yeah, since it is like a romance, I feel like there should be more focus on it. And I felt quite disconnected from the characters. Third person isn't always like something that makes me feel disconnected from the characters. If it's done well, then I feel the same as if it was first person. But this book, I could feel like I wasn't in the character's head. The romance was very beautiful. Like I've said, I am happy I read it though. So I guess that's something. Also, the author is, she lives in New Zealand, which is awesome because I really want to read more Australian and New Zealand authors' works because I live in Australia and I like to read Australian and New Zealand authors because I'm like supporting. I'm supporting. Never mind, it doesn't matter. But also, on the like first page, it talks about the author, and it says she lives in a cottage near the sea, writing books and drinking tea. And I'm like, excuse me, why are you bragging about your life? And like, when you know I want to live that life, and you're just bragging about it, like, excuse me. I'm joking. By the way, I'm not serious. I'm joking. But like, that sounds amazing. Can I have that life, please? So Cecilia, she is like a big book reader and loves the library and wants to just live a life reading books by the fire. And I'm like, girly, I am you. You are me. We are the same. That is my life. My dream life. Whenever I read books and the like main character likes to read, I'm like, oh my god. And then I remember that an author wrote the book, and then I'm like, oh, obviously there's a high chance they like to read because someone who likes reading wrote the book. And so, but every time I'm like, oh my god, I like reading too. And then I'm like, wait. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Next I'm gonna read If Only You by Chloe Leese. This is the 6th book in the Bergman Brothers series, but this book is actually a Bergman sister. I think when my sister picked this out, I hadn't read any of the books in the series, but since then I had read the second book, Always Only You, and I loved it. It is a 5-star read of mine. The romance was so sweet, and I heard really positive reviews about it being so sweet. The guy is like a cinnamon roll guy, and there was really good representation for autism, and the romance was phenomenal. It was so sweet, and so I have really high hopes for this book. People have also said this is quite sweet. It's like a brother's best friend relationship, I think. So Ziggy was actually mentioned in Always Only You, which is the second book, and this is the 6th book, so I'm just assuming she's going to be older. And in the book we find out that Ziggy has autism, and she was only recently diagnosed then, and she was struggling quite a lot. So I'm interested to see where she will be at with her, like if she's going to be still struggling. Like I want to like, why am I mumbling? What's the word? What the hell is the word when you mess up your words? I don't know. I'm so tired. Okay, anyways, I'm so excited. And Sebastian, oh, he's also a hockey player. And Ziggy is a soccer player. And I think they fake date to help his reputation. I think maybe he's known as like a player. This is like probably the book that is most likely to be a 5-star out of all of them. All of the titles for this series are like so sweet. Like If Only You, Always Only You. That is so sweet. But I'm gonna start this and I will update you with my thoughts. Fake a friendship with Ziggy. What do you mean fake a friendship? That is so rude. Oh, they're not fake dating, they're fake friendshipping? What? Why do you need to fake a friendship? Why is that so funny? Fake friendship. I'm sorry, that's so stupid. Anyways, I'm sure it's gonna be great. Fake friendship. Just be friends. How did I miss, like, I've read, it says fake friends, real benefits. How have I missed the friends part so many times? This whole time I thought it was fake dating and they're fake friending. She's a good girl. He's a bad boy. I'm sorry, okay. I'm going to read it down. I'll stop talking to you guys. Bye. I feel like I should address how I've worn the same outfit 3 days in a row, but different shirts. These are all the same shirt, but in different colors. I'm sorry, but like, I love my overalls. I can't part with them. I need to wear them all the time, so. It's so cute. And a Jane Austen cloak. Okay. Off to a great start. Why is this funny to me? Like the table of contents. I don't know why that's funny to me. It just being the Ziggy Sebastian, Ziggy Sebastian, Ziggy Sebastian, Ziggy Sebastian, Sebastian. I don't think I'm okay today. Oh, I didn't calm down. Okay. There's already a lot of talk of underwear and panties. Whoa, what is this about? I actually think I'm going crazy. Oh my god. It starts during the wedding of Ren and Frankie from Always Only You. This is perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Why? Oh my god. Guys, we are on the last book of this video. Would you believe it? Yes, I finished If Only You. I apologize you didn't see me give any updates. I will give you my excuses. That night when I started reading it, I stayed up until like 3 AM reading and I got to page 200, and then the next day I finished it. And yesterday I didn't feel like getting ready, but I finished it. It was amazing. It was just as good as I expected it to be. I rated it a 5 stars. It was so good. The relationship, so good. Chloe Leese, I think, is going to be a new favorite author of mine. Her writing is so good, and not just like the relationships, but she explores meaning of relationships and how to have a healthy relationship and mental illness and everything so well. Like she has so many like deep talks about it through the characters, but it's not like too much where you like just get on with the romance. It's not like that. It's like, say Sebastian is struggling and then Ziggy like explains and talks to him. Like when they have a heart-to-heart moment, Chloe Leese like uses that to explore relationships really well, which I really like. Also, it does say like friends with benefits, but that's not really a trope in here. Like that doesn't, like they have a few moments, but that's not really like what happens. I expected, like, since this is fake friends real benefits, like I expected that to be like a big plot point, but it wasn't at all. I really like how Chloe Lees has so much representation in her books for so many different things. Firstly, mental health and autism. I think I said that Chloe Lees has done a lot of research on autism, but I didn't realize she was actually neurodivergent herself, because in the last book I read it said that she did a lot of research. So yeah, obviously she does know quite a bit, but every person is different. And there's also like sexuality representation, gender identity representation, chronic illness representation, so many different important things. And I think it just makes it so much more realistic, instead of everyone just being straight and perfectly healthy. Like, it's not like it's thrown in your face, so it feels like she's doing it just for the sake of doing it so that people praise her or something. Like, she does it really naturally. And like, their like yoga instructor went by they them pronouns, and they're like a really small part in the book, and I just picked up on this because that's how they referred to them. And that's such a small way that they incorporated people who maybe are non-binary or just prefer to go by different pronouns that aren't necessarily like the norm. And it really shouldn't be a big deal that there's representation in a book, but unfortunately it's not that popular. Like, a lot of books don't have representation, so I feel like it's worth it to point out when someone does and they do it well. So now we're reading Call Me By Your Name. We are finally on the last book. This vlog, I went to start editing and the footage is at 1 hour and 30 minutes. So this is gonna be a long one. I guess this is the most books I've read in a video. This was the book I was most scared for, mostly because I really struggle with literary fiction. It's just harder for me to get through. I guess it's not as quickly paced. It's been a while since I've been able to finish a literary fiction book. I've DNF'd a lot, but after reading like 3 romance books in a row, I am like in the mood for this book. And Call Me By Your Name, like the movie and the book, are really, really popular. I mean, that might have a bit to do with Timothée Chalamet being in the movie, but it's really popular, and I'm hoping I can get through this at a reasonable pace. And it is actually quite short. It's 240 pages. I don't know a lot about this book. I think it just explores coming of age. So the main character is Elio, and he's 17, and his father, they let like guests come in and stay at their place, and I think they live in, where do they live? They live in Rome. And so Oliver is a new guest, and I think it explores the relationship between them. I think it might be a bit toxic. I've already started, I'm only on page 5, but so far it's really like easy to read. Chicago, oh Chicago, it's the city that's amazing. It's a city that is perfect just for me. What? What does that mean? Does it have some meaning I don't know? The colour on the palms of his hands was the same as the pale soft skin of his soles, of his throat, of the bottom of his forearms, which hadn't really been exposed to much sun, almost a light pink, as glistening and smooth as the underside of a lizard's belly, private, chaste, unfledged, like a blush on an athlete's face. It told me things about him I never knew to ask. Tells him what? Slur, okay. When was this written? 2007. Okay. Hi guys, I finished Call Me By Your Name. I'm not sure how to think about this book. I really enjoyed the writing. The writing was beautiful. It was really good. It really explored how teenagers think, and exploring like intimacy and relationships really well. And I loved all the like metaphors and the comparisons. There was like so many lines in here that were like so good. But I think when I got to like the 70% mark, I kind of was over it and I just wanted to get it done with, to be honest. I liked the start a lot better before they got together and when he's like having all these feelings and stuff, and then when they're having all these moments together, I like that a lot more. But like after reading this book, I'm itching to read like something fun and easy, like a romance. So that finishes this video of me reading books my sister chose. So overall, If Only You was my favorite, which I rated 5 stars, and then these 3 I all rated 4 stars, which is interesting. But yeah, I was gonna have my sister be here for the outro with me, but she's not here, so it's just me. But thank you for watching, I really appreciate it. You can follow my bookstagram or my booktok if you like, and yeah, bye.